Hey, you guys, I have another word to bring to you. I had this vision on December 2nd, 2022. I was having a download of visions on that day. Um, I believe it was at nighttime. But I had this at 10:16. I saw two white and brown cattle sitting in the grass, cuddled in on one another. Okay, and so I looked up 1016 and it meant ox, an ox or a cow. Okay, and so this vision, this word is about receiving rest for a heavy burden or bondage and being equally yoked, not unequally yoked in bondage. Okay, so first place I was led to was Luke 13. Luke chapter 13, verses 11 through 17. So I'm going to read that. Verses 11 through 17. 11 says, "And behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmity 18 years, and was bowed together, and could in no wise lift up herself. And when Jesus saw her, he called her to him, and said unto her, Woman, thou art loosed from thine infirmity. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. And the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation, because that Jesus had healed on the Sabbath day, and said unto the people, There are 6 days in which men ought to work. In them therefore come and be healed, and not on the Sabbath day. The Lord then answered him and said, Thou hypocrite, doth not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his ox or his donkey from the stall and lead him away to watering? And ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan hath bound, lo, these 18 years, be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day? And when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. So from there, I was led to Exodus 23, verse 5. I'm going to read that. Exodus 23. And verse 5 says, If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. Okay, so the next place was Deuteronomy chapter 22, and it was 1 through 4, the verses that I'm going to read before I get to the meat of the word. So 1 through 4 says, Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again into thy Thou shalt in any case bring them again to thy brother. And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it into thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. In like manner shalt thou do with his donkey, and so shalt thou do with his raiment, and with all lost things of thy brothers, which he hath lost, and thou hast found, shalt thou do likewise. Thou mayest not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see thy brother's donkey or his ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again. Okay, and so the next place I was led to was Luke chapter 14, and it's um let's see, verses 1 through 6 says, And it came to pass, as he went into the house of one of the chief Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath day, that they watched him. And behold, there was a certain man before him which had the dropsy. And Jesus answering spake unto the lawyers and Pharisees, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? And they held their peace, and he took him and healed him and let him go. And answered them, saying, Which of you shall have a donkey or an ox fallen into a pit, and will not straightway pull him out on the Sabbath day? And they could not answer him again to these things. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden when he marked. Well, I'm stopping at verse 6. Sorry. Okay. So I'm stopping at verse 6. Those were the places I was led to. So um, the cattle that were relaxing in this vision were symbolic of being equally yoked. Um, and in being equally yoked, you're able to rest equally. So when if a yoke joins two oxen, then then those oxen need to be the same in order for them to work together. They won't be able to accomplish the goal of farming or tilling the land if one is shorter or weaker than the other. It will be difficult for them to work. And so being unequally yoked can hinder you when you're unequally yoked with another person or with others around you. It can hinder you in your walk, in your purpose, when it comes to receiving the harvest. Um, so God will put you with those um, that you are. He will put you with those that won't hinder you in your walk, in your purpose, and even your growth in Him. And so, just like when the oxen, just like how the oxen needs to be the same in order to work together, we have to be paired and partnered with those who are similar to us, um, so that we can be able to accomplish the goal, that we are all pressing towards, um, so that we will be able to bring in that harvest. The oxen, they won't be able to accomplish the goal of farming and tilling the land. We, when we're unequally yoked, won't be able to accomplish um, bringing in that harvest if we are unequally yoked with others, whether that's in a marriage or just with others that you are walking with. Um, it will be difficult for that work, to be completed. And so right now, the Lord is joining equally yoked unions who will be able to go out and labor and bring in the harvest, as well as be able to rest from that labor equally. This can be marriages or even partnerships or friendships, um, as this, as it pertains to this word. And so I wrote down some facts about cows that I looked up. So, um, this is what I found about cows when they are um, paired with those that are similar to them, when they're equally yoked, or when they're around other cows that are like them. It says their stress levels are significantly lower when with a preferred partner rather than by themselves or a cow that they don't know. So, as it pertains to us people, when we are paired with the right people, you know, when we are equally yoked with the right people, with the right partner, whether it's marriage or just someone that you're supposed to be walking with, a destiny helper or, um, a divine helper, those who are meant to be walking with you in your life and what the Lord is having you to do, your stress levels are going to be low. You're not going to be stressed and having a whole lot of confusion and, just stuff that shouldn't be when you are walking with those that are you are equally yoked with. How can two walk together unless they be agreed? And so, the next fact I have is cows have best friends and are more comfortable and happy when they're with their closest companion. So when we're equally yoked, just like these cows, humans have best friends. Um, we're more comfortable and happy when we're with those that we are equally yoked with, compared to being with someone that we're unequally yoked with. And it also says the emotional connection makes the bond stronger. So just like us, when we are yoked when we're equally yoked with others that are like us, that are similar to us, that hold similar values and morals as ourselves, um, we're able to connect on a deeper level emotionally, which makes the bond stronger between um, the two people, or in that marriage, or either um, that partnership or that friendship. They're able to connect on the emotional level deeper on an emotional level, which makes the bond stronger. And so another fact about the cows is that they bond by physical contact, grooming one another, going on walks together, curling up side by side to sleep. So this reminds me when it comes to relationships, as far as like marriage, and love languages. So um, when you're equally yoked with someone, you're gonna know their love language, you know, and it's gonna cause you to bond are because you're going to know their love language, and in knowing their love language, you're going to be able to love them according to what they need versus versus according to um how you feel that they should be loved. Like, if you're paying attention to their love language, you're going to be able to give them what they need, um regardless if it's what you need, and vice versa. They'll be able to give you what it is that you need according to your love language, how what makes you feel loved and wanted and needed and things like that, which is going to strengthen the bond as well between those people. When you're equally yoked, that is not an issue. That's not a problem. But if you're unequally yoked with someone, that's going to be a problem. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to focus on your love language and giving you what you need. They're going to probably be loving you according to how they feel love is, or what they think would be loving. But in actuality, when you're in a marriage or relationship with someone, you have to love that person according to what they need, according to their love language. So that last one, I feel like, pertains to, actual, relationships or unions, marriages. And then the last one I have, it says they are driven to seek out relationships with like-minded individuals. So as I stated before, as it pertains to us being equally yoked with others, you're going to be around those who are like-minded as yourself. They're going to have similar morals and values. You're just going to be like-minded in many ways, which is going to make you equally yoked with one another. And so that is all that I have for this word. This is about, again, receiving rest for a heavy burden or bondage, and being equally yoked with those like you. Um, Not equally yoked in bondage as it pertains to who the Lord will have you to walk with, whether that's in a marriage, a union, a marriage, or some type of partnership or friendship, or whoever the Lord is calling you to walk with, um, in order to fulfill His purpose in your life. So that is the end of this word. I hope and pray that this has edified someone and that it administers grace to the hearers, and that is all for now. I'll be back with another one. See y'all later. Goodbye.